Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Tarot for Kindness. This is our weekly get together where we do readings for you by donation, $10 per card. I do tarot, and then my lovely partners do other things in addition for free. So you pay $10 per card for the tarot reading, and on the first Sunday of the month, you get Miss Kelly, who's doing astrology advice around your question. We do this with our friends Subotan Harbor, who are in Ukraine and buying groceries for these seniors who have nothing and are trying to just get by in this full-scale invasion, and they don't have enough money to buy groceries. They don't have enough money to buy their medicines, and this 2 weeks worth of groceries, $40 buys 2 weeks worth of groceries for these seniors so they can just get by in this horrific time. They can have heat, they can have medicine. So if you want to support Ukraine, and what thinking person doesn't, come on down. We're here every Sunday. Now, next week, we won't be here because next week I'm going to be visiting my cousin. So I won't be in town. So I won't be doing this. But we'll be back on the 16th. So we won't be here on the 9th, but we will be back on the 16th. What else do I need to tell you? So how do you do this? Well, if you want a tarot reading, you can just come and hang out. We're happy to have people come and watch. And oftentimes we have people who can see you watching, but we don't see you, but we see how many people are watching. So like we're big brother spying on you. That would be weird. But we do the what if you want to participate and you want to get a reading, and or you just want to make a donation, that can happen too. We both have our kitty cats. You see my Glinda back there?
Oh yeah, she's being mellow, unlike mine is like, I would like to be fed immediately again.
Well,
and I'm like, you
exactly.
just got fed, girl. No.
I know. Now, Manfred's living here, and we both feed her, and so he'll say, "Hey, I fed her already," but she thinks I don't know that she's been fed, and so she'll
Of
try and
course.
it's like she hasn't been fed.
She discusses it. She's like, that guy didn't feed me.
Yeah, she's
I
like,
don't know what he's talking
"Hey,
about.
I want dinner." I'm like, "You've already had dinner." Anyway, so if you want to get a reading, all you have to do is make a donation on Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat. Super Chat is the little, you're like, what is Super Chat? Super Chat's the little $ down below here on YouTube. You can make your donation here on YouTube, or look in the chat. At the top of the chat, you'll see the links for PayPal and Venmo. Make your donation. Once you've made your donation, come back here, go it back into chat. Let us know where you donated, how much you donated, and what your question is, and the birth dates of anybody who is involved. That could be your birth date. It could be, if you're talking about you and somebody else, it could be both of your birth dates. But that's what we do so that we can do the astrology part. The birth date is for the astrology. And then the question is what we're going to look at, right? And we know how many cards by how much you donated. So if you want a 1-card reading, it's $10. 2-card readings, 20, 3-card readings, 30, 4-card readings, 40. There's 78 cards in a deck. You want a 78-card reading? I haven't done one yet, but I could start now. Hey, listen, that is the way to guarantee that you get the sun card in your reading, or those cards that you want. The 78 card reading. All you have to do is 78 card read, $780. You're going to donate to the seniors in Ukraine. That would be amazing.
Right.
But even if you just want to make a donation of 1 card, we're so happy to receive it. 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, 5 cards. We have everything. We've done I think the most we've done is 10 card readings, but we're so grateful that you're donating, and that we can donate 100% of the proceeds to these seniors in Ukraine. And when I say 100%, I really mean 100%. These places, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat, they all take their cut, right? But I give Subotan Harbor, for your $10, I don't give them $9.50. I give them $10. I give them the whole amount. So I put that money back in. So not only am I here doing the readings and not making any money, I lose money on this proposition, but it's important to me. I care about Ukraine, and I care about Ukrainian seniors, and I think that you don't even know the level of like how this positively affects them. It's like huge. It's huge to have the dignity of having food. You don't have to beg. I mean, some of these seniors, they've discovered and found them because they were, begging because they had no way of getting a piece of bread. They were just, can you buy me a loaf of bread? I mean, that was the case for some of these seniors. And some of them can't even get out of the house to beg. Many of them are disabled, are, bed bound and all kinds of things. So you're making like this enormous positive effect. So all you have to do is make a donation and you can have this positive effect. If you want to help Ukraine, this is a way you can help Ukraine. We can do this. I mean, this is what I'm all about. I was thinking about this when I was talking with a client today, that like when you think about, okay, let's say we're living in Germany in 1932. The shit's coming down, right? Are we? Kind of. We don't know where it's going to go or how far it's going to go, right? But we know this is not a good place with an authoritarian government who's trying to destroy our democracy, selling us out to Russia and to totalitarian governments. I mean, he's a Manchurian candidate. I mean, I can go on and on. But who are the heroes during the Nazi regime? Who were the heroes? Can you think of a hero? Name me a hero, like a person, like a kind of a person. What kind of a person was a hero?
Oh, what kind of a person?
Yeah,
Oh,
you don't
of
have to have a name.
course. Yeah, the people stepping up,
And
people
doing what?
in the resistance and hiding people and feeding people.
Okay, right?
Doing
Right.
the things. Yeah.
Right. Doing the things.
And you
I
know
thought
what?
about this.
I've read a lot of stuff about like the French resistance and stuff. It was only like 1% of the population that was actually doing that. And so all these little bits, all these little things are so powerful. Like,
Right.
It can sometimes, I think it feels like, oh my gosh, it's so big. The scale is so big. There's nothing I can do. But every time you're all just showing up over and over and over and doing something small like this it's huge. It's huge.
Right.
It's huge.
Well,
It really does make a difference.
this is what I was thinking about and talking about earlier today, which was I was saying the people that were hiding, let's say hiding Jews and hiding people from the Nazis, right? They were just doing one thing for one person or one family.
Yes.
They weren't having to fix the whole damn problem. There was no way to fix that problem. There was no way that they could stop that. They had to let it play out. But within that system, they were doing the one thing. So what we have to do is to conserve our energy to as much as possible keep that daily 24-hour news cycle out of our head, not because we're like la 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 it's not happening, but because we have to conserve our strength so that we can go and help the individuals around us and we can help people around us. That's what we need to do. So this is the way you can do that today, right now. You want to tell the current regime, F you, help a Ukrainian person.
Right.
Because you cannot solve that bigger problem, but you can solve this one problem that you have this one-to-one human contact. And that's what people were doing in the Nazi Germany times. They were doing one thing. Or in Vichy France, when they were doing the Vichy government in France, they were resisting, but they were doing these one little things that were helping one person at a time. And that's what we can do. So when you make those donations, we can take those donations and we send them straight away over to Saboten Harbor. They buy groceries today, Monday for them, it's today. And then they buy those groceries and distribute those groceries. So you're making a huge positive impact akin to the people that were hiding people during the Nazi regime. I mean, it's not quite so dramatic as that, but listen, I think those people didn't start just when that was happening. They were probably starting before that was happening, doing other actions to help their neighbors and to help the people that needed help. So, yeah.
For sure.
So conserve your energy. Don't feed into the stuff that is disempowering you. Don't listen to the stuff if it makes you feel afraid and then that fear makes you not act or not do something. Keep it at a distance. and keep doing your work. Keep doing your work. Support people of color, support immigrants, support women, support LGBTQ community, support the people that are affected by this. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Jessica, we've got Devon, and we've got David. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And if you want to get a reading, all you have to do, look at the top of the chat. It will give you all of the directions on what to do, where to donate, and then come back on and tell us what your question is, where you donated, how much you donated, and what your birthday is, and any other related people's birthdays if they're part of the question. All right. So we're going to look at Jessica first. Thank you, Jessica. Energies for the week, please. Thank you. Thank you. Sun and moon, Aquarius, sun and moon, both, Libra rising. Excellent. We have a lot of Aquarians that come here. You Aquarians are all progressive and forward thinking and think outside the box. I love it. You come to our fun little party here. Oh, by the way, I want to share the deck that I'm using. New deck today. New deck alert. I've treated myself to a new deck. It's called the Fairy Tale Tarot. It's by Lisa Hunt. And it just came out not too long ago, a month or a couple weeks or a month ago. But I love a fairy tale thing. So this is the first time I'm using it. I cut it. I shuffled it. I got it mixed up, and we're gonna take a look at it. Oh, it's so fun. It's like, I love it because it's kind of fairy tale, but based on the card, and then you get the addition of the fairy tale in it. I kind of love a deck like that. All right. So Jessica, energies for the week. Your first card is the Seven of Pentacles. It shows like the golden goose coming out of I guess the golden goose. I don't remember the golden goose coming out of a tree, but the guy who killed the golden goose. Don't kill your golden goose this week. That's a good thing to remember. So when we talk about Seven of Pentacles energy in general, it's about tending to your garden, like caring for something, right? You think of the gardener's tending to the seven gold coins on his bush, and he's reaping the rewards for tending. Because like in gardening, if you water a little bit, you water every couple of days, you give it some fertilizer, you make sure it's got the right sun, you keep the bugs off, and you get some beautiful crops, beautiful flowers, beautiful plants at the end of all of that. So the same energy is here with Seven of Pentacles, which is like to look within and ask, what am I tending? It's not about big steps, but those little steps this week, those little things that you do on a regular basis that get to the good result, right? So I think about like things that you may want to achieve, Jessica, things that you may want to work towards. So that could be just taking little bites of something to get to that goal, right? Tending to something. What I love about it is that the traditional Seven of Pentacles has that very lush, vibrant, healthy bush with all these 7 gold coins hanging off of it. And this has the golden goose. And you know the story, the goose who laid the golden egg, right? The goose who laid the golden egg was like laying these golden eggs, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. Let's kill the goose and get the eggs out. That's, I think maybe that's the guy with the axe, or maybe this is a different golden goose story. I don't know. But anyway, there's another one where I think they stick to the golden goose, but I don't know that one too well. So I think of this energy as like you want to care for something. So not only tend to it, but care for it. Like don't destroy something thinking you're going to get more out of it, but to actually just tend to it and keep that abundance flowing to you. This is definitely like an abundance energy, but it feels like that consistent thing, like a plant giving fruit or the egg laying the goose laying the golden egg over and over again. It feels like that continued wonderful abundance comes from tending to something. So I think that's a wonderful focus for this week. We also see Prince of Swords. So Prince of Swords in this one is probably the knight, I'm going to guess, but let me make sure because I have not used this deck before. So I got to make sure I've got yeah. Okay. So princess is the page and prince and then king and queen. Okay. So Prince of Swords would be equivalent to Knight of Swords. So Knight of Swords is about advocating for yourself. Prince of Swords shows a young woman who's being carried. I'm looking at just her hair flying around. She's being carried in a net by 7 swans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 swans. 6 swans? Yeah, 6 swans. They're carrying it.
I was doing the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know what fairy tale this is from. Maybe you guys know the fairy tale, but what I do know is that Knight of Swords it refers to advocating for yourself. It's about this energy of like standing up for yourself or somebody else. I also see that, she's being carried very lovingly, but I think this is about like, is she controlling the swans? I'm not sure. I don't know the fairy tales. I just opened this deck today, so I don't know too much about it. But I would look and say, like, how could you advocate for yourself rather than have other people carry you? Right? How could you advocate for somebody who may be trapped or maybe is kind of passively being carried away by something? Do they need your advocacy? So look to yourself. Do you need to advocate for yourself in some capacity? Or do you need to advocate for someone else this week that will be showing up in some way? Let's see what I have. Oh, is this the little match girl? This is the little match girl. 3 of Swords. Oh my gosh, 3 of Swords. Do you know the story of the little match girl?
I do.
It's a sad one.
I do know the story of the little match girl.
The little match girl.
But I love that that's for the 3 of Swords.
Yes, I know. It's like kind
Really
of
sweet.
perfect for so interestingly, the little match girl is out in the cold. It's cold. She's freezing and she has 3 matches. I think she has 3 matches.
3 matches, or some of them are she has a box of matches, or she's selling the matches. I think
Yeah.
she's supposed to sell the matches for her family.
Yes. And so she lights one of the matches to warm up, right? Am I remembering this? Like, I'm
Yeah,
having to
she
go back to my
starts
childhood
lighting the
memory.
match to warm up, and then it burns out, and then she lights
But she
another
sees,
one.
but
She's
she,
stuck
but
there.
she sees an illusion every time she
Mhm.
sees lights the match, right? So I look at this is a really interesting card to show up for 3 of Swords. So if you know 3 of Swords, 3 of Swords has that heart with the 3 swords in it, right? And the swords represent like our thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that are causing us pain. It so matches up with this story because it's like the idea that there is an illusion quality, illusionary quality. I don't know what the word would be. Illusionary quality to the like the vision of what is causing you pain. So I would say, Jessica, there's something that's causing you some emotional distress. It's a thought, idea, or a belief that you have that's causing you some kind of, maybe it's anger, maybe it's frustration, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's sadness. It can be any of those emotions, but it's causing you an unwanted emotion. But what the little match girl is saying, that emotion is an illusion, that the thing that you are mad about or angry about or that you are frustrated about, what are the things that you are harboring that you could remove and dispel that illusion? Great thing to ask yourself. So if there's something causing you some emotional pain, how can we dispel it like a match blowing out, right? Be such a like a thing to examine where you have beliefs that are keeping you in pain, right? Could be emotional pain. So last we have 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, 10 of Pentacles. Is this, I don't know who this is. She's riding a she's riding a bear. I wonder if the bear is like an ancestral bear. I don't know the story, so I can't speak to the fairy tale on it. Boy, this is a real
Does it say a fairy tale on there?
it is a fairy tale, but it doesn't say what one. So
Oh,
I have to,
okay.
it's in the book somewhere. I'm not going to look
All
it up in
right.
the book. That's not how I read. I don't look it up in a book. But Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles is a card about stability, home, having a legacy, also having these blessings coming from above. So it's really interesting that this follows the Three of Swords, which is like if you get rid of the illusions, like your blessings can come, right? It's almost like I feel like the illusions may be slowing down the blessings from coming, or you may not see the blessings. So I think of that spherot of the the tree of life, the Kabbalah tree of life that's on the Ten of Pentacles, and how that represents that
Mm.
manifestation process. But I think of this like it, this card also represents like that ancestral energy. I think sometimes we have ancestral animals that come forward for us, like the bear could be a beautiful ancestral animal that comes forward. It is east of the sun, west of the moon. Oh, I love it. The Slavic Finnis, the bright falcon. Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. So this is that quality of finding your way, being protected, somebody like an ancestral energy coming to save the day and bring your blessings to you. And pentacle, that little bear has a pentacle necklace right on its neck. It's protection. So I feel you're safe and protected by such a beautiful strong energy. And then yeah, there you
I like
go. So I love that. I'm going to learn these fairy tales
that.
next time I use this. I got to read, got to catch up on my
Powerful. I
fairy
love it.
tales. I know it's really beautiful deck. I love the images. So, what do you have on the astrology part?
So what I'm looking at is with that Libra rising, Mars and Venus. So Mars just went direct. Venus is going retrograde right now. So Mars, based on your chart, is overhead, and it could feel like your career or things that you've wanted to do out in the world have been a little slowed down because Mars was going retrograde. And so everybody's energy is like feeling a little sluggish. And now it's going direct again. So it's starting to move again in that arena of how you put yourself out in the world, what your reputation is, what you do for a living, what your career is, not even what you do every day, but what your career is or what those goals are. That is starting to speed up again for you, and that's just starting. So you all this energy starting to surge forth and get moving. It's also a squaring your ascendant, so it's like a challenge, but it's kind of a good challenge in a way, I think. When Mars comes up and says, come on, get out of bed, no more moping around, let's go do this. No more feeling like you can't do it. So that energy is really being offered to you. And then Venus, your ruling planet, because if you have a Libra rising, that rules your entire chart. So Venus is going retrograde right now, and it's slowing down for the next few weeks. And what that is really an invitation to is to sort of, I love that whole Three of Swords thing with Venus going retrograde. What are you telling yourself about self-love? What messages and stories are you telling yourself that are really an illusion, right? How can you pull those swords back out? Because Venus is the goddess of love, and she wants you to love yourself, and she wants you to know that it starts within. And it's sitting there in Aries. Mars rules Aries. Mars is moving that forward again. So they always have this dynamic, Venus and Mars, those two planets. They don't really operate without the other. So you've got one kind of going forward and one slowing down. So I think we're all in a way being asked to sort of pace ourselves when it comes to that stuff. But you in particular, it ruling your chart, got that Three of Swords coming up. Ask yourself, what do you tell yourself about self-love, about self-care? And Venus slowing down is a great time for self-care. A really, really great time for self-care. I want to encourage you to do that this week and for the next 2 to 3 weeks while Venus is going backwards, right? It's actually a great time to take advantage of what the planets are doing. So take a long, luxurious bath. Put the lotion on. Like Venus retrograde is great for that. A lot of astrologers advise do not get any radical haircuts or things like that when it goes retrograde, unless it's something that you've really, really, really wanted to do for a long time, and you're going to be okay with it. Otherwise, no, 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 no radical changes, but take your time, slow down.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much, Jessica. Oh my gosh, thank you, thank you. Next is Devon, then David, then Callie, then Claire, then Evelyn. If you would like to get a reading, all you have to do is look at the instructions in the chat, make a donation, jump back onto chat in one of those places in the links, the Venmo or the PayPal or the Super Chat. Then go back in, let us know where you donated, how much you donated, and what your question is. It's $10 per card. 100% of the proceeds go to feed seniors in Ukraine through our partners, Sobotin Harbor. $40 feeds a senior for 2 weeks. So if you'd like to feed a whole senior, like Devon does every week, feeds a whole granny, you, you can do that. All right. Thank you so much, Devon. We're going to look at your week ahead. Yeah, I mean, this is a great way to get like a check-in on the week ahead and help seniors at the same time. What win, 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 win all around. Win, win, win is better than a win-win. You win, you get a reading. We win, we get to read for you. And the seniors win because they get fed. So that's a win-win-win.
Yep.
There was the thing on The Office. The win-win-win was better than the win-win. All right. Let's see what we've got for Devon. And let's see how many fairy tales I don't know.
Right. It's like, oh, there's so many.
Oh my gosh. You kind of don't need to know all the fairy tales. Just looking at the images is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Okay. I'm going to learn these fairy tales next time. I'm going to know them by heart. Okay. So the first one is, this is really an interesting image. I don't know what this is from. It's like, I want to say it's the Two of Swords, right? But it's kind of like, it's not this, but I'm thinking of like the Heat Miser and the, and the Mr. Frost or whatever. And that,
Was that Rudolph?
No, it's not in Rudolph. It's in like Santa Claus is Coming to Town or one of that. Rankin Bass is the same.
It's one of the little stop motion.
Yes, exactly. The claymation guys. But anyway, this is the Two of Swords. So Two of Swords, it actually does go along with the energy of Two of Swords. There's a duality to Two of Swords. And what I really see here is like that energy of decision making. I think of the Two of Swords. If you look at the traditional Two of Swords, she's got two swords and she's holding them like this across her chest. And then the swords are coming up this way. It's an X. And the X represents a crossroads, a liminal place, but also the place where we have to decide, am I going to go to the left? Am I going to go straight ahead? Am I going to go to the right? Am I going to go back? Where am I going? Right? So that kind of energy about this beginning of this week, as we see you going into this week, you have decisions to make. Do you do this or do you do that? When we look at Two of Swords, it also tells us how to make the decision. So there are other cards that are about decision making in the tarot, but the Two of Swords has one unique property, which is the swords. Swords represent logic and the rational mind, not emotional, detached from emotion. It's air energy. And Devon, you're an air sign, so this is right up your alley. What it's asking you to do is to make this choice looking at things logically. When Two of Swords come up, I often say, hey, this is a great opportunity for you to look at that decision and list the pros and the cons to help you clarify for yourself what is the path to take. What is the path that's going to have the least harm, the greatest benefit? It's going to have the more of the pros than the cons. The pros outweigh the cons. That will help you make that decision. So make a pros and cons list about this decision that you have to make, and that will be really helpful. Second card is the Temperance card, which is it the, I thought it was the, I can't figure out what the story is.
Let's see.
It's got at first I thought this was the Frog and the Frog Princess, or the Princess and the Frog, the one where she drops
like
the ball
star.
in.
That's Temperance.
That's
Looks like she's doing
temperance.
no, looks like she's doing some star
But
action.
but it's
Okay.
like but it's like a dragon in the corner. So
Oh,
I
it
can't,
is? Oh, it
yeah,
sure is.
I
Oh,
don't
maybe she's healing the dragon.
I don't know what that story is. But anyway, we can talk about temperance without even knowing the story. So temperance is about healing and temperance. So if you've been feeling like certainly Devon, if you've been getting the cold that's been going around, this is a beautiful card of like, there's a kind of quality of the temperance of like taking things slowly or doing something. So if you need to take time to heal, that's important to take that time. Take a sick day or two or three, whatever you need to like rest and heal. There's a stillness to that temperance card. Temperance angel is a beautiful angel. So I think about like this, the waters here as being very, very healing and can be, really like think about what you'd like to heal. Is it an emotional healing that you'd like to do? Is it physical healing? Is it mental healing? What is it that you magical spiritual healing? Think about that and think about working with water in particular to do that healing. Even the temperance angel is pouring water from one cup to another. So that could be taking a bath, it could be drinking potions or infusions. It could be if you're physically sick, drinking more water, all of those things that we know we need to do when we're sick. So but if you're not sick, it's about cleansing, clearing, healing, all of that, and using water as your element to do that. Your third card is the Two of Wands. We have all these twos in here. I love it. The twos. So Two of Wands shows. Is this the country mouse and the city mouse? I don't know what story this
Aw.
is. It might be country mouse and city mouse. I mean, it's like a cute little couple, a mouse couple. He's got a fancy hat on. She's at the door.
That's
She might be
cute.
in a little country mouse. Oh my gosh, look how
Oh,
magical
look
this
at
is.
the
Oh,
little
the
face
face in the
on the
tree.
tree.
I know, I love it. So I would say to you, there's a quality of Two of Wands of holding a vision of like really like seeing like where you want to go and what you want to accomplish and seeing the vision of it. So again, did we get Two of Wands last time oh, you weren't here. Like last time we did a reading, Devon, didn't you have Two of Wands? I felt like there was some visionary card that came up. There's a visionary quality to Two of Wands. So like focus and vision your dreams into being. I think this is really important to like hold the vision of your dreams and do that. There's also a lovely little message here in this card, which is to like pay a visit to a friend, maybe pay a visit to discuss your dream and what it is that you're working on. It could be a really good thing, having a sweet little visit with a loved one. And the fourth one is the Ace of Wands. I think the story sounds familiar to me, but I can't remember. It's like a wolf with a flaming stick in its mouth. That
Oh,
sounds familiar. I don't
that
remember
does
what the
not sound
story is.
familiar to me.
It does to me, but I can't remember the story. So the Ace of Wands is the card of like passion, energy, enthusiasm, action, motivation, all of the good fire energy stuff. So I think like what I'm looking at like this week, it's like healing, slow work. And then as we get toward the end of the week, you're gonna feel that renewed energy, you're gonna feel that passion, you're gonna be running like this wolf is running with your little fiery stick and making things happen. So I feel like the beginning of the week is a little slow, and toward the end of the week, start moving and shaking a little bit more. So I love that.
Yeah.
What do you have, Miss Kelly,
I
for
like that
Devon?
you're gonna have the moon kind of going through, lighting up the arena of friends, hopes and wishes, and then it's going into the area of dreams. I'm going to encourage you to really listen to your dreams over this next week or so. Really like a dream journaling, writing that stuff down, listening to your intuition, like that whole sector, that part of your chart is really being lit up. And then Venus, as Venus is going retrograde, that's going through the area of friendship, of big, large community. So all the things that I would get together with your girlfriends, hang out, be doing some sort of connection in that way, but also think about any kind of large scale community efforts and things that you're interested in doing. right, Venus is going to be going back and forth through that part of your chart for a little while, and right now it's going backwards. So now's a great time to sort of evaluate that and really look to what you, because it's Venus, so it could have to do with money. It could have to do with what you personally can contribute. So really start thinking about what you are curious about, what you want to give to that part of the community, what you are available for, what you have to offer, because I do know that you think about those kinds of things. So just think about what you are available for, because Venus going retrograde is really asking us all to kind of do that, slow down, and what am I available to do? What energy do I really have to give out there? And then when it goes direct, you can start really putting stuff out there. But now's a great time to just start contacting those places, or thinking about those ideas, or coming up with your own ideas that you want to do that have to do with really, like, there's something big that's going on. I mean, we're all participating in something really big right now, but there's that, it's highlighting that part of your chart right now. So thinking about what group, organization, what it is you want to do would be a fantastic way to utilize that energy. And also just spending time with your friends. Like, you're really
Yeah.
being asked to do that, regenerate through that, just recharge by being
Like
the
that.
people that you love and care about,
Yeah.
for
That
sure.
Two of Wands. Yeah. It's so
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
right?
that's
So
true.
good.
And all that stuff in your 12th house, that moon, like, just like listen to what there's so many things your intuition is talking to you about over the next like week or so. It's going to
Love
really
it.
light that up. I love it.
Love. Thank you so much, Devon. Thank you, Jessica. We appreciate you. Next is David, then Callie, then Claire, then Evelyn, and then Belly Diva. If you'd like to get a reading, all you have to do is make a donation on PayPal or Venmo or Super Chat. You'll see the links in the chat. You can see those links listed. Once you've made your donation, it's $10 per card. So one card reading is $10, two, $20, $3, $30, and so on. Once you've made your donation, go into the back end of the chat, tell us where you donated, how much you donated, and also what your question is and your birthday, so we can do a little astrology for you. All right. David, great to see you, David. Thank you so much. And thank you for the blessings. Currently, I'm at the beginning stage of what is potentially a very fulfilling relationship. My birthday's on September 16th. Her birthday's on March 9th. All right. Thank you so much, David. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's take a look and see what we see. All righty. Oh, I love it. Okay. So here's a really interesting, I think this is really interesting because it's giving you some great guidance. Okay, the first card that we have is Seven of Swords. And Seven of Swords is like a warning about like something shifty or something like somebody not telling the truth. So I really think that you have to be a straight shooter. That's the message that I'm getting out of it. We have the Seven of Swords, and Seven of Swords shows the troll and the Billy Goat's Gruff crossing the bridge, and the troll is like they trick the troll basically in that story, right? Remember
Mm.
the Billy Goat's Gruff? They like
Oh yes, I remember that.
they do something to trick the troll. The troll's like asking them questions, or they do something. They
They're
outsmart
clever.
the troll. Yeah, exactly. So I think this your counterpart is super smart and super intuitive and can know if you're not being completely authentic and honest. That doesn't mean you have to say every single thing that pops into your head, but I would be very cautious about telling anything that isn't the truth, right?
Mm.
Like you can speak the truth in ways that are nice or ways that are presentable, but you cannot lie to this person. You cannot lie to this person because they will know, right? So I think that's a really good message for you. Not that I think that you're a liar. By the way, David, I just want to point that out. But I think that this person, maybe it's more not so much about you. This isn't a thing on you, but this is a thing coming from her. She's been lied to before, and she has like a real hair trigger about lying. So if you are not telling the truth, or there's a suspicion of your lying, she's going to be out. So that's why I think that transparency, honesty in kind ways is super important in this relationship. Again, I don't think it's you. I know you're an honest guy. I know you're a straightforward, straight shooter, but I think that she has some issue with lies. And so maybe like looking for them, right? Worried about them and looking for them. It's like you've gotten burned on the stove. Now everything looks like a stove, right? Right? You know how that is.
Yes.
Your yours the second card is the Prince of Wands, which is I love it. What I'm wondering what story this is. Is a cat chasing a bunch of mice? Do you know that story? I'm gonna have to read that
Oh,
story.
that seemed. Oh, it's like, oh, it's like my childhood right now is going. I know what it is, and my adult brain is like,
um,
I.
the
Oh my gosh! Like I know that's gonna drive me crazy.
well, we're gonna
I'm
find
gonna
it.
dream about it tonight. Probably. I
Well,
feel like I've
Prince of
read that
Wands,
story.
you know what Prince of Wands says to me? It's like, you know what? We have like a cat spell at the Parlor of Wonders, the lucky cat candle. The cat candle is meant to go out and get what you want, right? So I think this is a message for you also about this. Like wands are passion, enthusiasm, excitement. And the Prince of Wands is, I guess, the equivalent of the knight. I don't even know if it's equivalent or the knight of the page, but we'll say it's the knight. So, Knight of Wands is like go for it energy. It is a reminder to feel the fear and do it anyway. All those mice and that cat is just going to town chasing those mice. So, I feel like there's an energy here of like to be like to step into this relationship. It's still new, so but don't let your own like hesitation or fear or anxiety take the lead. It's like put it out there in ways that are appropriate for the amount of time that you've been together. But also like give a little like I want to say give it a little fire, like get it going a little bit. Like I think you're going to be the driving force of getting this relationship rolling. So figure out the pace, but like keep pushing it forward, in other words, which is really good. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that advice. Because so we're doing like sun signs right now. So she's a Pisces, you're a Virgo. Um, Pisces in general, Pisces loves romance. So yeah, be the Prince of Wands and be romantic and woo this person. And
It's passionate too. It's
yeah,
not, it's,
yeah. And I think sometimes Virgo can be a little reticent with that. And there's sometimes a quality, sometimes Virgo can kind of hold back because they're assessing the situation, analyzing things, and getting a little caught up in their mercurial sensibilities. And I'm going to encourage you, Virgo, to just let some of that go. Do your best to let some of that go and just enjoy going with the flow because Pisces goes with the flow. And I'm going to tell you, my Virgo moon dated a Pisces sun for a long time, and they really do go with the flow. And you got to just accept it, you know? And I love Pisces and I love Virgos. So I think it's a great match.
yeah.
A lot of astrology books might say, oh, you're opposite. Oh, no. Ignore all that stuff. Trust your
Yeah. Water.
intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust your intuition. Opposites also attract. But just recognize that Pisces they can really go with the flow. So the advice of be the driving force, like, hi, this is what we're going to do. I've got a movie date or a romance or something planned out for you. Pisces is going to go, oh, that's great.
Yeah. They want
They
to go for
usually
the
go, oh,
ride. Right.
lovely. But they do like to be wooed.
Yeah.
They do like a
Okay,
little
I looked
romance
it
and
up because it
sparkle.
was gonna drive you crazy. It's Dick Whittington and his cat. I remember that story. Dick
Dick
Whittington and
Whittington
his
and his cat. Oh my
yeah,
God.
the cat went and caught the mice. There was something I remember. But here's what it says in the book too, which I think goes along exactly with what we were saying, David. It says adventurous, active, and loyal are the key words, which is great. So I think that really is that energy coming from you. And what you want to do is really like be like that leading force and like
Mhm.
moving things forward. But there's also that loyalty that's like underlying all of it. It's not just hooking up, it's not just any of that. So I think that is really good. So yeah, it's a couple good pieces
Virgo's
of
good at that.
advice. Yeah.
Virgo's a
Yeah.
great, like, I
I
love
love Virgos.
Virgo's really great at being really solid and present and there,
Yeah.
which Pisces needs. And Pisces is great at being in dreamland and the romantic, which Virgo needs.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, don't lose sight of this is somebody that's bringing something into your life that qualities that you need. Yeah.
Yeah. I think those
Love it.
things, it's very interesting. Like, we know water signs and earth signs are very compatible. Air signs and fire signs are very compatible, right? And I think that there's this interesting thing that there's some people that have this opinion that if you're opposite signs, that you're not, even though you're air and water, I mean, air and fire, or water and earth, that you're not going to get along, or there's going to be some problems or anything like that. I think what I find, like for me, I have many, many, many Capricorns in my life. I'm a Cancer, many Capricorns in my life that I just adore. And then
Mhm.
there's some Capricorns, few, that I feel like they're so immobile. It's hard for me. So they're so kind of worried about what other people think. And I'm like, why are you worried about what people think? You know
See,
what I
I would
mean?
be like, what's going on in that Capricorn's chart? Because, Capricorn's usually going out there and charging into the world.
But
So
they
I'm like,
also
whoa,
want to be perceived as good
yeah,
citizens, right? You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about? So they're worried
yeah.
about judgment. So, I
Oh,
think,
yeah, that's Saturn, their ruler Saturn. Like
right, that
it's
like Saturn
not handling
energy.
it well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can't handle it. But that's not every Capricorn. I know it's like a
no.
select few. So I do think that there are going to be like those, when you're in the opposites, that there are going to be people that like there's something that is going to trigger something for
Oh,
you.
for sure.
Right? And
Oh,
then
for sure. That's the
examine what it
chemistry, the
triggers for
spark,
you. Examine what it triggers for you. Is
for
it
sure.
is it that you're worried about what other people are thinking, and then, or you're being judgmental? Like, it always has something to show you, but
Yeah.
yeah, that could be so good, right? Oh, we're so grateful, David. Thank you so much for your donation. Okay, so next we have Callie, then Claire, Evelyn, then Belly Diva, then Martin. If you would like to help Ukrainians right now, and if you're a caring person, of course you want to help Ukrainians. You can help feed Ukrainian seniors and get a reading at the same time and get some astrology advice at the same time. It's a win-win-win, as they say on The Office. All right, Callie, thank you so much. Um, all right. Thank you so much. I have a question about my dog. I adopted her from a shelter, and when I picked her up, it wasn't the same dog. What? Was this a happy accident, or did she come to me on purpose? All right, let's see. That is wild.
Mm.
Did you like tell the shelter, like, what's with the switcho chango? Like
Yeah, that's what I
intuitive.
want to know. Do they know that you didn't get the same dog?
Yeah, you know what? It really comes intuitively to me about that is that you picked the dog, someone else came in after you came in and is like, I want that dog. And that the shelter was thinking, oh, we can move this dog right now. This person's going to take it right now. And we don't know if that other person's going to come back. And let's see what this new dog is going to bring into your life. I love it. But I have a feeling like there was a little bit of like panic or weirdness on the shelter's part, and then they just sort of covered it up when you came back. Oh, she actually did come back.
I also want to know, does it look similar to the dog you thought
or
you
is it
adopted? Or
or
is
is
it
it
radically
totally
different? Yeah.
I know. I want to hear the whole story. That could be a movie,
We
man.
have questions.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. 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 Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is really the magical thing, the Four of Cups, and I'm looking at, what is the story? Is it like an eel bringing a gift? What the heck? I don't even know what the story is. I'm going to look it up. But before I look it up, I'm going to do your reading. It's like an eel, right? Isn't that an eel with a cup
Or
on its head?
is it an eel or is it like the
The
seal,
water?
like the Irish
Selkie? A selkie?
yeah. Is
No,
it
I
a
think
sulky?
we'll find out. Okay, later we're going to find out. I'm going to talk about the traditional. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. So, Four of Cups energy is like you're focused on one thing, but something magical comes from a way you didn't expect it. So, this is absolutely the thing that you're talking about. It's like she was meant to be for you. She just came from the, like, out of the blue, like you weren't looking at her, you weren't focusing on her, and here she comes out of the blue as this absolutely beautiful cup. I'm going to show you the regular deck just because I want to show that image so you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so interesting that I want to find out what that story is. Okay, note to self: next time you're going to use a fairy tale deck, learn all the fairy tales beforehand. I'm sticking with it, you guys. So that's how I roll. We're gonna. I don't mind letting the cracks show if I don't know if I get a new deck and I don't know what I'm doing with it. But I do know the cards and I do know what this Four of Cups. I know what all the cards mean. Okay, here's our Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is this guy. He's looking at these three cups in front of him and like going, they're all right. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're fine. And then here comes this magical cup coming out of a hand, being held by a hand in a cloud. What the heck? It's a magical, beautiful offering. So this dog coming into your life is this beautiful cup. And it's good that you didn't like go back and say, well, this isn't the dog that I ordered. This isn't what I agreed to, because she is that magical cup coming to you. She is that loving, beautiful cup, that magical little eel, seal, selkie, whatever it is, coming to bring you this loving cup, all this love and filling up your heart. I mean, it's so good. All right, now I need to find out what story that is. Oh, we have fun here. Okay, Four of Cups is why the sea moans. I've never heard that story before. Ah, yeah.
She's
So
from
it's
the
like,
same litter of puppies.
yeah, from the same litter of puppies. So she just kept her.
I love that. I'm going to read the astrology like a horary chart. So I'm just going to look at the sky right now to answer your question. And the whole, like right now where I'm at, the whole part of the sky that's lighting up for you is relationship stuff. So it's like this dog is going to be a true companion for you.
Like your love.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
your
be
little
your
love.
heart, like Venus is there, the moon's lighting up there, all the things. You're gonna find like so much dedication, because that's in like the part of service. So you guys are gonna be really dedicated to each other. The Saturn sitting there, it's really like this is really, really lovely. Just in terms, I see you said you're Capricorn, moon and sun. So Mars has been like retrograde, going back and forth. So it's been opposite, opposing you. So you've had this energy that's like kind of this way, and now it's going forward. I would just go for it. Like grab this puppy and hold on to it, because it's like this great energetic gift. You're probably going to feel, I'm guessing with that Mars happening, like, oh my gosh, I've got to go right now. But yeah, when I just look at like just the snapshot of the sky as like a divinatory tool rather than looking at your chart, oh my gosh, it's lovely. It's so lovely. Like this, yeah, this is a true companion, dedication for a long time. And it's like Libra on the right, on the ascendant. So it's like, partnership. It's like partnership over and over and over again for you.
I love that so much.
Ruled by Venus. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love that like surprise that comes from out of nowhere. That's like a beautiful, like the best offering of all. So you're
Yeah.
looking at pretty good options, which was the dog you
And
first picked.
transformative. I think it's also going to be, as I'm kind of looking, like a little transformative. Like your home is going to be transformed. You're just
so good, so
lovely.
good, so good to have that little animal familiar love in your life. So good, yeah.
Perfect.
All right, so thank you so much, Claire. Thank you so much, Callie. Claire is next, and then Evelyn, then Belly Diva, then Martin. If you'd like to get a reading, you can. All you have to do is make a donation on Venmo and PayPal. $10 per card. 100% of the proceeds go to feed seniors in Ukraine who are suffering in the full-scale invasion. We all want to help Ukraine. This is a way you can directly help Ukrainians, that are suffering right now, and alleviate that suffering right now. It's such a good thing that you can do. Thank you so much, you guys. So Claire says, hi, $50 on Venmo, 5-card reading. I'm trying to finish a book this year, which I've been working on for nearly a decade, and it's an exciting but enormous project. Okay, let's take a look at that book. All right. Oh, that's really great. That's really great too. Let's see. Good, good, good. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's like it's gonna tell you everything you already know. Basically, that's what we're seeing. Oh, I love that. Love that. Okay. So here we go. This is like, I think this book is gonna do really, really well, like in very surprising ways for you. So the first thing that I see around this book is the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords means great idea. It's like you have this whole like download that you're going to be writing or that you are writing, and the idea is really good. I love it too because Ace of Swords is also communication, communicating this idea, writing this book. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast a little spell on you, Claire. It's called the Catholic guilt spell. Oh my God, that was so horrible. It's the Catholic guilt. I can say that because I'm a Reformed Catholic, a recovering Catholic. What can I say? But I grew up with a Catholic mother who knew how to dish out the Catholic guilt, right? So, what is the Catholic guilt? It's to say to you, Claire, and this card says it too. This is such a great idea. This idea, this book is going to mean so much to someone, to more than one. The book is going to be somebody's favorite book. So by you holding back on writing it, you're holding back on somebody finding their favorite book. Isn't that amazing? That's a good guilt spell.
I like it. It's a great guilt spell.
You're really making something that is going to be so magical, so beautiful, and it really is going to be somebody's real like passion. That story is going to be at least one person's passion. Wait, I'm Catholic. Exactly. The spell works extra good on Catholics. What can I say? I know how to do it. My mother taught me so well. So here's the thing. That book, okay, I want you to think, Claire, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite book? And then think about if that person never wrote that book. You'd be so sad because your favorite book wouldn't exist. So I think about like when I read a book and I read a book that I really love, I'm like, I'm so grateful that this author wrote the book. And I'm so grateful that the book was published. I'm like grateful to up the line to the publisher, to the people who sold the book, to the people who wrote, everybody along that line. I'm so grateful. So I want you to know that your book is going to be somebody's favorite book. And so you need to write that book so that somebody has that joy of discovering your book. It's going to be more than one person, but I just want you to keep one person in mind because it's easier to think of. You're giving a gift to that person. They're going to be passionate about that book. Chariot card is like, get going, girl. This is time, time to get moving. You know what?
Yeah.
There's another part of Chariot, which is like the mastery. Like you have mastery. You are a writer. You know how to write and you know how to tell a story, right? So it's like you're ready for this. It's not something that you have to train for. You're ready right now. So you write your. Here's the other thing. I'm going to give you now. I cast a Catholic guilt spell on you. Now I'm going to give you writer advice. Every time I write a book, I make a post-it note that says, your job is to write a crappy first draft.
Such good advice.
Really, your job is to write a crappy first draft. Write the crappy first draft, and then you can fix it and zhuzh it, and then your editor's going to fix it and zhuzh it. Your agent, your literary agent's going to fix it and zhuzh it. Your job is to just get something out there that they can zhuzh, right? Then that gives them reason for being too. So your agent, if you have an agent or you pick up an agent, is going to have ideas about what to change and to perk it up a little bit and have second pair of eyes on it. Your editor at the book publisher is going to do that. If you publish it yourself, have somebody edit it, have somebody look it over too, because they're going to help you find the weak spots and fix things that don't make sense. Maybe they make sense to you in your head, but they are unclear when you read it. These are the things you need. So what I'm saying to you is that Chariot card is saying you're writing and you're not expected to write the perfect thing at the beginning. You're just meant to get something out. Then you can rewrite. Then you can have somebody else look at it and do another round of rewrites. Bring it to the agent, bring it to the publisher, and so on. So keep going forward. This is the year to go forward, okay? And just think about that person in mind who's like, I want a favorite book. And I haven't found my favorite book because Claire hasn't published her book yet. That's what you need to know.
I love it.
No, the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles, I'm not sure what story this is, but Eight of Pentacles is like diligent work. Keep, like, I'm going to say to you, Claire, set a date, like set dates with yourself and set aside time and put it on your calendar as sacred time for writing. I don't care what it is, if it's, all day Saturday, or if it's an hour each morning, or if it's whatever it is, but set aside that sacred time and block it out and nobody can change it. Right? That's what you need to do there with that. This is like the diligent work that you do daily, like the diligent work that you do on the regular is the thing that builds that money tree that gets to that goal that you're aiming for. Then Ace of Wands, I think you're going to have the motivation and passion to complete it. You've got these two beautiful aces. Aces are big yeses to this book. The universe is saying yes to this book. And the Ace of Wands is the card of like passion, enthusiasm, and action. So I think once you start, it's interesting because every book writing process is so different. Like it's so weird. It's like, I think people that have lots of children say every pregnancy is different. Like one, they were totally morning sickness, and then the next one, they were fine, right? Every book creation process is different. And for this one, what I see for you is by committing to doing the work every day, you will then find the motivation and passion to like blast through it. So it's kind of almost like, it's like maybe the motivation isn't there yet, but if you commit to doing the work every day, the fire will start, and then you'll start getting excited because you'll start to see movement and you'll start to see it gelling, and then you'll start to really be excited about your own book. um, the last card, gosh, sorry, I'm coughing. The last card we have is the fairy godmother. The fairy godmother.
I like that.
Oh my gosh, fairy godmother blessing this. I think this is going to be such a magical book. And I also feel like, the fairy godmother represents that idea of like transformation. She represents that idea of like, think about fairy godmother and Cinderella. She waves her wand, bippity boppity boo, and then Cinderella is dressed in a gorgeous gown. She's got a gorgeous coach. I think that there's a transformation that's going to happen to turn your raggedy little manuscript dressed in rags into a beautiful princess. I think you're going to have that process. Like once you do these things, to keep going forward, to keep committing to doing it, finding the passion. Once you find that passion, it's going to be transform that book into the beautiful princess, the beautiful book that you want to present out in the world. And it's going to be fast. That process is going to be very fast. So yeah, I love that. I love that.
I like.
Yeah.
So you got Virgo sun, Gemini moon, Libra rising. Well, first of all, Virgo sun, do not let perfection be the enemy of progress, which I think was addressed right there. And your Virgo sun sits in what we call the 12th house. It sits in this place. It's sort of in this intuitive space. And you've probably, it's easy. It's in Pisces house, actually. So you're in your opposite house. It's really easy, I think, probably for you to sort of get lost in the dream and not, and then trying to make it a reality. Sometimes it can be really difficult. But in the last couple of years, Saturn has been has been opposite your sun and has been traveling through the area of dedication and devotion and hard work, and all of the stuff that you've been doing these last couple of years are getting ready to come to fruition. So Saturn is really asking you to step up and just do it. And I know you are doing it because Virgos always step up and do it. And it's as it leaves that part of your chart, it's getting ready to go into the area of partnership. So now is the time for you to start. I mean, this whole reading is about you coming into your own. Saturn has been, if you think about the way an astrology chart looks, you got this wheel and you've got this line. And so Saturn for you has been going on the bottom part of your chart, which is kind of like the unconscious part, right? It's where our home life and stuff is. And now it's coming up and it's getting ready to go back into the daylight again. And it's going to spend another 14 years up in this daylight, and it's on this slow climb up. And this is the moment to lean in and say, yes, it's time for me to be recognized. It's time for me to find a publisher and a great editor. Like you're on time. The timing is great. So Saturn is giving you a gift. This is my thing lately. I've been meditating every day and I'm like, oh, thank you, Saturn. Like I keep saying that now instead of freaking out a little bit. Oh my gosh, here comes Saturn. I keep saying, okay, here comes Saturn. Thank you, Saturn. Thank you for the discipline.
Yeah.
Thank you for getting me to work hard. Thank you for getting me to show up every day and putting something on paper. So I want you to do that. Just say thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Saturn. I'm ready. I'm ready. And just keep putting one foot in front of the other because this is your time. I mean,
Yeah.
you are right on time. It is.
Every book has its like weird thing. And this, I'm going to tell you my personal story. I'm writing a book right now and I was supposed to finish it last month. Then we had the fire and everything. I was supposed to finish it. I'm telling you, was so eager to write this book. And then when I started to write it, it was like there was too much information, too many downloads. It felt like I was like, I don't even know what to write. I was having
Oh, too
such a
much
struggle.
stuff. Oh, that's hard when you're
And
overwhelmed with
then
it.
one, then I just kept at it and I was just writing the worst garbage. I mean, the worst, really the worst. And then something clicked. And now I'm like, I know exactly what to write. I know exactly and I'm taking out all this stuff that I don't need. And so I'm telling you, sometimes we struggle and struggle and struggle, and then something clicks. And that's what I'm seeing for you. All right.
I love
So
it.
don't despair, Claire. It's gonna click for you. It's gonna start to flow, but you have to commit. If you stay like if did not have a deadline, I'd still be back and I don't even know what to write, right? And then because I had a deadline, it forced me to write. And every day I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is terrible. This doesn't even make sense. This is so disorganized. And finally it gelled. So that's, and every book is different. I had the second book, Candle Magic book, boo. I didn't even think about it. The Baba Yaga book, I was like, oh my God, I have to research all this stuff. I can't find any information in English. I have to learn Ukrainian. I was so crazy. So the Animal Familiar book was easy as pie. So it's like every book is like, it's different, So your experience now won't be experienced with the next book, but your book needs to come out because that's going to be somebody's favorite book and they're waiting for it. So yeah, love it. All right, we have Evelyn, Belly Diva, and then Martin. If you'd like to get a reading, you can get one in now. Go to the links at the top, Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat. Make your donation. Let us know how much you donated, where you donated, what your question is, and what your birthday is so we can do a little astrology for you. Oh my gosh, Evelyn, love so much that you do this. $30 on PayPal, March 15th. Sag Ascendant Taurus Moon. I got a Taurus Moon too, Evelyn. I love my Taurus Moon. No specific question, Jay. Just mostly wanted to support and a general guidance. Appreciate. Well, thank you so much for supporting, and we'll give you a little general, like what's going on and what you want to look out for and all of that. So why not? Why not? All righty. So little check-in for Evelyn. So I looked it up in the book. It's really interesting because I think she did this thing where the queen, she's really trying to shake it up. Like the queen is the top of the.
That sounds like the Thoth deck. I think it sounds very influenced by the Thoth deck.
Oh, okay.
In that deck, the queen is the top.
Yes.
And then it's the prince.
No.
And then
Well, she's
there's like
got
a princess.
queen,
There's a
king.
princess, a prince, and
Yes.
but the king is lower than the queen. It's interesting.
Well, that's how she has it. Queen, king,
Yeah.
princess, prince.
That's
But I think that she's not
that's
doing it.
based off the Thoth royal
Okay.
royal court. Yeah.
All right. So, oh my gosh, this is so lovely. I love this. Oh my gosh. I don't know what story this is, but it's looks like a young girl, young woman flying on a top of a bird, taking a ride on a bird, and it's the Princess of Swords.
How cute.
So when I see this, I mean, like energy of the swords court family always has to do with the rational mind, communication, thoughts and ideas. I think there's something so beautiful about like flying on top of a bird. If you're like could get shrink down little and you could ride on the back of a bird, like wouldn't that be like a exhilarating experience? And so I feel like there's possibilities for you to come up with ideas over this week, like as you're just like general guidance this week coming up. You're going to have some ideas that come to mind that are going to be like real like high level ideas, and that also have this kind of bird's eye view really of things. So I think you're going to like look at things, like take in the whole picture, and with real like eagle-eyed clarity figure out what projects you need to work on, where you need to go, where you need to be, but coming from this very high place, very high vision, very high vibe. I love it, and I love the empowerment of having like the court card energy, like you're empowered to do it. But there's also this just lovely, beautiful, soaring free. Look how peaceful she is, so calm. She is like she's sitting in first class in the private jet right there. Is there first class? I think that's all first class in the private jet. But anyway, it's just this beautiful, like I think this is a really like high level view. Like I see you like kind of taking it all in and picking out what like you need to work on, or like seeing things from a distance with clarity, right? Real clarity is like swords energy, and then kind of assessing things and then seeing where you could be most effective, or what it is that you need, or all of those things, all of the above. um Next, though, we have Four of Cups, and Four of Cups energy is something coming off from the side, like we just saw the puppy, right? This is the puppy card, right? That like something surprising is going to come from something you don't expect it to come from. So you might look at things and go like, oh yeah, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden this beautiful opportunity sweeps in, or this like a magical thing that like dazzles you comes in, that's so much better than what you're looking at that's right in front of you. So I want you to have that kind of openness to like look like, oh, something weird's happening, something different's happening. This is coming from something I didn't expect. So I love seeing that as well. You also want to, oh my gosh, this is so funny. The Emperor's new clothes is deception. I wonder what deception is related to. Hold on a second, folks. I'm going to look it up. Hold on. But anyway, deception, Emperor's new clothes, you know the story, right? The emperor was trying, like, well, really, the tailor tricked the emperor, like saying, oh, look at this beautiful cloth. Only smart people can see it. Right? And then the emperor's like, well, I don't see anything, but don't want him to know that I'm dumb. So I'm going to pretend that I see it. And so he goes out. So the tailor carefully cuts this invisible, no cloth at all, invisible, sews it, makes it tries it on him. Oh yeah. Oh, this looks great. And so he announces to the people in the community, I'm going to go out and show my new outfit, but only smart people can see the outfit. And then all of the people are like, oh, it looks great. Meanwhile, he's naked, right? But there's a little kid, a little boy, who says, the emperor has no clothes on, right? So what this represents is that idea of seeing through deception. So I think of this idea of like that bird's eye view, also helping you to see when people are trying to be tricky with you, when people are trying to deceive you or pull one over on you, right? The emperor has no clothes. So you don't have to necessarily point it out. You could point it out, but don't be duped by people trying to manipulate you into thinking, oh, well, only smart people can see this. So if you can't see this, you're not very smart. No, the kid didn't care what anybody thought of them, and the kid told the truth, right? So I think you want to like sort of think about like how if there's a manipulator around you, or look for that kind of somebody that's telling you, it's gaslighting. It's really what that story is about, right? the tailor gaslit the king gaslit the whole village or community or
And the little
kingdom.
kid speaks truth to power.
Exactly, and the kid wasn't gaslit, so don't get gaslit by
Yeah.
somebody, and I feel like you have this way of knowing for sure with that, Princess of Swords, you can see through it, but, just be on the lookout for people trying to gaslight you, and then just say, "No, that's not what it is." Call it out, right? Excellent. I love that. Thank you so much, Evelyn. So now, take it away, Miss Kelly.
So I'm looking at your birthday. It's almost your birthday. Happy
Happy
birthday.
almost birthday. Yeah.
So kind of been talking about Saturn. Saturn's finishing up its sojourn through Pisces. So over the next couple of months, because it's going to leave in April, you could be feeling, and it's talking, going over your sun, it's talking to your ascendant a little bit, but it's also forming what we call a sextile, which is kind of this lovely gift and opportunity with your moon, your Taurus moon. But Saturn has definitely been talking to you for a while now. And again, say thank you. Saturn, I want you to think about the last couple of years. Somewhere you've learned something, somewhere you're cultivating some sort of metaphysical practice, spiritual practice, showing up for yourself. There's something that you're doing, and it's coming to a peak right now. It's something that you're really devoting yourself to, that that's going to see you through the next 30 years. And that's
Wow.
happening right now, right? Because Saturn's getting ready to make this brand new cycle. So, and that's kind of true for all of us, but Pisces in particular. Saturn's having that conversation with you right now. So I want you to think of it as, excuse me, I'm like Pam right now,
Yeah.
having a cough. Um, like an older, wiser person or mentor sitting down right next to you. Because if it's a conjunction, it's right next. They're touching, they're right on the couch next to you, and sitting down and having a conversation with you, talking about where you see yourself over the next 30 years. What kind of adult do you want to be? Where do you want to be in life? What have you learned so far? What is it that you want to devote yourself to right now? And really, what devotional practices are you doing to help yourself stay centered and focused and present in the moment? Because Saturn and Pisces can really, really do that for us. Um, it often feels like, if we're not like co-creating, it'll feel like, oh my gosh, I'm being oppressed, everything's sitting on top of me, there's too much responsibility, all these things are happening. So all that stuff could be, it could feel like that. What's really happening is this older, wiser person is saying, what are you going to do about that? Here's the skills I've learned, right? Here's what I know how to do. So now is really the time for you to just kind of sit there and think. It could be that you're cultivating a tarot practice. It could be that you show up here every Sunday or every other Sunday and you go, yeah, let me get a couple cards read. That's a great devotional practice, right? Connecting in. Could be that you're keeping dream journals, you're meditating. Could be that you just go for a walk every time you get stressed and you've just learned how to do that, to stay present and in the world. And the other thing too, because you're a Pisces and Saturn is sitting there, Pisces, I always tell Pisces that they need to pull their energy back to themselves, because Pisces is kind of like this misty, foggy energy. And so a lot of times Pisces walks through the room and their energy is touched to everybody else in the room. And then they wonder why they feel so shitty, because they touched everybody else's crap. So by Pisces, I want you to use this as a Saturn lesson. Call your energy back to yourself. When you get back in your car at the end of a long day, I call my energy back to yourself. That's all you got to do. Just pull it back to you, right? This is mine. You don't have to give it away to everybody. When you take a bath or a shower, turn that water into white light and get woo, because Pisces is woo. So be as woo as you possibly can. White light, cleanse yourself, get all the crystals in the world, hold on to them, do whatever it takes to make you feel centered and grounded again, so you can stay present and sane here in the world, because we need you here in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Saturn is the older mentor who, and it could be male or female or anything in between, right? Saturn is sometimes presented as the old wise man, but lately I'm like, not necessarily, right? It could be this crone, it could be just somebody that's just a few years older than you, right? They just show up in your world, and it'll often manifest as that really happening. Somebody a little bit older than you kind of sits down next to you on the bus or something and just starts talking to you and drops these pearls of wisdom, and you never see them again. That's a great Saturn experience as well. So just be open to that. That's coming your way. That's happening right now
Oh,
for you.
thank you so much, Evelyn. Thank you so much. Before we do our next one, I just want to drop a little commercial break, one brief commercial, which is to let you guys know that speaking of astrology, the Aries new moon Ram of Victory spell. This is our first candle that is an astrological candle that's showing up on the new moon, by the way.
It's a cool candle. It's big too. It's like
Yeah,
that. Right?
it's so gorgeous. And it's absolutely just a gorgeous candle. It's a ram with a garland of flowers around its neck. It's so spring. It's so Aries energy. It's like the blessed ram that they march through the parade through the town and everybody's celebrating, right? It's like so beautiful. I love this. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous candle. Absolutely gorgeous beeswax, beautiful orange beeswax candle. So the Aries new moon Ram of Victory spell is ideal for manifesting your greatest ambitions and desires, like getting your book done, right? Rams exhibit determination and the ability to break through the toughest barriers, making so it's like a great road opener candle spell. I mean, if you want to open a road, this is a great candle for that. Making it the perfect spell for overcoming any challenge that you're facing. You can get it as a new moon spell kit. You can get it as a new moon spell kit and workshop. You can get it as a group spell service where I do the candle for you. It is only available until March 14th. Our new moon is on March 29th. So you have to order on March 14th so we can get it to you in time for the new moon. And if you want to find out more about it, just go to newmoonspells.com. And that's what I wanted to share. There you go. There's the link to get it. You also can go to newmoonspells.com. All right. So now how do I stop it? There we go. Go away. Stop screen sharing. All right. Here we are back again. All right. So Belly Diva, thank you so much. I just wanted to donate and send love and protection to President Zelensky and all of Ukraine. But if you feel called to pull a card for me, that's cool too. Oh, thanks, Belly Diva. Thank you so much.
Love it.
Absolutely. Let's pull a card. Let's. Oh, and there's no astrology. You got
I
Belly
see
Diva?
birthday.
Oh,
I
okay.
found it. She put it
You
up
found
there.
it. Great. Okay. All right. Okie dokie.
I'm gonna get up and go feed Hep really quick while you're pulling that card.
All
She's
right.
being annoying.
Oh, I love it. 10 of Pentacles energy. Love this card. This card, 10 of Pentacles, is like having that support system. I always think it's like, really as calling the traditional 10 of Pentacles is like the ancestral energy, like your ancestors watching out for you. If you have an ancestor practice, this is like that reminder that your ancestors are with you, they're supporting you, they're bringing you blessings. But if you don't have an ancestor practice, this might be a really good time to activate that ancestor practice. That could just be like acknowledging your ancestors. It might be setting up a little altar to them, leaving them a little offering every once in a while, saying good morning to them. I mean, that's what I do at my ancestor altar. I pour my tea in the morning and I pour a cup for them. And then I say, good morning, ancestors. Thank you so much for watching over me and my loved ones. Thank you so much for protecting my home. I just, give them that acknowledgement and say hello and good morning and thank them, right? Without your ancestors, you wouldn't be here. So we can say thank you to them. Depending on your relationship to your relatives, you might not have any relatives that you know of that you love, or you might have relatives that you love. We never know. Everybody's situation is different, but you can think about those loved ones that you knew and that have passed on that you loved. And if you didn't get along with your family, think about those older relatives, the ones that you never met, those ancient ancestors, because someone back there has your back. There's definitely someone that has your back. This card is showing up. it's kind of beautiful blessings and manifesting things. So I think right now it's like an optimum time for you to start working on a manifestation practice of what as well. If you don't know what a manifestation practice is, I'm sure you do, but if you want some ideas, I can recommend also like go to YouTube after this. You don't need to leave this now, but go on YouTube and look up Madame Pamita Gratitude Journal. Amazing manifesting practice. So easy to do. All you need is a book and a pen, and you can start manifesting like a boss. All right. So, what do you have for Belly Diva?
I am looking at Venus backtracking through Aries and getting ready to go back over it. So Venus is going to be traveling over your sun. It's kind of doing that right now. Over the next like month, it's going to go back over your sun and go in front of your sun. So now it's time to sort of lean into that. I was talking about this earlier when it's going retrograde. You could be now's the time to ask yourself about what you tell yourself, especially with Aries, because Aries is about confidence and it's ruled by Mars, and it's about getting out there. And Venus is going backwards. So it's asking you to self-reflect and to think about the stories you tell yourself, right? What do you tell yourself about self-love? How do you show up for yourself, and how do you show up for yourself in how are you a friend to yourself? Because Venus is often about friendship, right? So, and Venus is going over the biggest part of yourself, right? Your sun, your heart, your center. And so she's coming back and saying, how do you show up for yourself? What are you going to do about that? Now's the time. Now we're going to have a conversation about that. And and I want you to kind of think about those things and show up for yourself in a Venusian way, which is do something pretty, right? You can set up an altar to Venus or Venusian things, whatever those are to you, right? They could be something different to you than they are to me, but you can do that stuff. Wear some perfume, right? Very Venus. Wear some perfume. Water, like visit the ocean, watery things.
Oh,
Oh, I love that. Yes, that's important. It's important. And it's so important for Aries and fire signs in general, but Aries, Aries and Leo, like we need to learn confidence. And when we figure that out, there's no stopping us, right? And Aries, I'm telling you, there's no stopping you. So
yeah.
this is a perfect moment to do that. Yeah.
You know what? When you were telling that story, Kelly, I kind of pictured like Venus like walking away and then going like, wait, I have one more thing I need to tell you.
Yes, yes, totally. Yeah. No way. We've got some other things we're going to talk about. Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. I forgot. There's one thing I have to tell you. You need to do more self-love, girl.
Yes, for sure. And that's going on really over like the next month or so for you. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I
And
love
your
that.
sun is we would say is for the astrology nerds out there, your sun is 2 degrees Aries. So it's early on in that. So yeah,
I love that.
this has a
Love
lot
that
to
so
say to
much.
you. Love it.
Thank you so much, Belly Diva. Thank you so much for the donation and the seniors. If you guys want to see the seniors that you're helping, you can see their stories, their pictures. I mean, it's such a amazing thing. You can add Yulia on Facebook. Yulia Sabotin is the main coordinator for this little grassroots organization. And you can follow Yulia on Facebook. You can see she posts stories about the seniors that she helps. She posts stories about her life, in Ukraine and all of these other things. But you can mostly see the seniors that she's helping, and it's amazing, like how impactful your donations are. It's amazing to see, like, people are just like, this is a miracle that I now don't have to decide between heat and food or medicine and food. So they're so intensely grateful, and like their donations, it's like it brings people to tears when they get this donation of food. It's like a prayer
Mm,
answered. You can be that answer to somebody's prayer. And I think especially now, like when the optics are that Americans are a-holes, like we also want to show up and show that we are not
yeah.
this regime. We want to show up in a different way, and this is a great way to show up in a different way. We have one more reading with Martin, and then if we don't get any more, we will sign off. If you would like to get a reading, this is your last call. go on to Facebook or sorry, don't go on to Facebook. What the hell am I saying? You can pay on Venmo, PayPal, or on Super Chat. All the names of things. My brain is dead.
Mm-mm.
I've been doing readings since like 12 today. I have 8 hours. I've been doing things related and haven't had a break. So I'm a little like loopy. Um, oh, thank you so much, Martin. So my request was for a reading for my present and future and what I'm going through now. So 3 card reading. Thank you so much, Martin. Okay, we'll take a look at what's present and future. And
What does that mean? I'm 920 and the other is 18.
that's the person.
Okay.
So the other person. So the other
Okay.
person. So Martin's other person.
Okay. I thought it might be an event.
No, I think it's I'm and the other is like the other person, I
Okay.
think. Martin, if we're wrong, if I'm wrong, tell us,
Yeah.
but that's what I
Let us
think
know.
it is. If we're right, let us know too. All righty, let's see what's going on. Oh, I like it. I think this situation, if you're struggling in some situation with this, it's going to settle down pretty quickly. If there's any kind of struggle or anything like that. I'm not seeing struggle here, but I'm sensing that like what I'm going through now usually means you're going through a thing. But I see it really settling with some action on your part, really settling into a much better place. So the first card that I see is the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. And I don't even know what story this would be. Goodness gracious, what would the story be? I have no idea. But anyway, 9 of Cups energy is like having it's called the wish card, right? And the reason it's called the wish card, it's like you're totally satisfied, like you completely have everything that you want. So what I'm getting from that is for you to really like wish bigger or to like be clear about your wishes. I almost want to say to you, and this may be like tough love with the situation. So please forgive me if it's a little, it's not that tough, but is this person everything that you want? And if they're not everything that you want, open yourself up to getting everything you want. You know what I'm saying? So one of my favorite petition papers is to like sit down and write a list of the 21 qualities of your perfect partner or 21 qualities of your perfect job or 21 qualities of your perfect home, right? When you make this list of 21, it's a very magical manifesting number. It's got 2 and 1, which makes 3. It's creation and all of that. 7 times 3, which is like co-creating with the divine to create and all of that. So the list of 21 is very important. And to create that list and to look at each quality of the relationship and the person that you would like to be partnered with. It's not looking at that person, but looking in your own heart at what you're wanting. And that's setting that intention that that person comes into your life. It could be that your current person make some changes so that they become that person that is all 21. Or it could be that person that they like drift away because they do not have and cannot provide for you what you want. But I almost sense here a bit of like settling energy when what you need to do is like go, you know what? I'm worthy of having these things. I'm not asking for the moon and the sun and the stars. I'm asking for very basic, grounded, real, healthy relationship things and create that list to create that. You can use this for any situation where you're trying to like match up to that perfect thing, whether it's the perfect boss, the perfect job, the perfect neighbors, whatever it is. Listing what you want is creating a contract with the universe so that you can manifest it. The next card is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Look at that kitty cat queen. She's so cute. Oh my gosh. May I have your little paw in marriage, he's saying. um, so Queen of Wands energy is the magician. It's also like stepping up in your power and your passion. So I think that there's some like, yes, like recalibration here. I also feel like maybe there's something like you might have like lost some of yourself in this relationship or dampen down some of your light or change to accommodate someone else. And Queen of Wands is like step up into your power, step up into your passion, be proud of who you are, right? And you don't try and make your light dimmer to please somebody else. It's an important one, right? So with those two, like I feel like you're gonna get what you want, but to be open to it maybe coming from somewhere else rather than this person, or like let the person be who they're gonna be and say, I'm looking for something different, right? That's a really important thing. It's not like you're telling them to change. That's no good for you. It's no good for them. But you're telling you, I'm looking for this, right? Then they have the free will to either step up and be that or take off so that you can have that person come into your life. Um, Six of Pentacles, what you get from that, Six of Pentacles, is like a relationship with like an even flow back and forth, where sometimes Six of Pentacles can be somebody who's overly giving, like there's a giver and a taker. But what I think is the healing of the flow of Six of Pentacles is that we end up with a relationship that's reciprocal, where we get as much or more than we give. That's what you get when you start to like be willing to let somebody go, and maybe that's what needs to happen here. um you open up the door to getting what you want. It's like it's a really interesting thing, but I do see you getting what you want. And I almost feel, because I'm not seeing like endings here, I feel like if you step up and get really clear about what you are looking for in relationship, the person will step up. I feel like this person, other person will step up. So you got two earth signs, right?
Yeah.
Together.
Two earth signs, big trine, which is a nice flow of energy, sometimes too nice, sometimes it's too easy, could feel like friendship, or like like everything's really friendly really fast, right? And sometimes that feels really comfortable and that's nice. And sometimes, sometimes it's not enough, depends. You're right at the end of Virgo. So right now, again, I've been talking about Saturn all night. Saturn is sitting across from you. So right now, over the next couple of months, so Saturn's really asking you to step up and take responsibility for where you are in life and what it is you want and what it is you want to do. So all the stuff with this reading about asking for what you want, right? Step into that, step into your power and ask for what it is you want. Ask for what you want from the universe, ask for what you want out of life, and then be willing to shoulder the responsibility for that, to really do that. And Saturn always rewards you. Even it's hard. And sometimes I think it's really hard for Virgo to say, this is what I need, this is what I want, because Virgo is often put in the position to have to serve other people, and they could be a little people pleasing, and they sometimes give up a little bit of their agency sometimes when they get stuck in that cycle. But Virgo's not here to be a people pleaser and to serve everybody. Virgo's here to find a deeper devotion to the planet, to themselves, to life. They rule the, they're here to harvest what's happening in the world, right? And instead they've sort of in modern times have been relegated to this position of just service. And I think our souls are attuned to more ancient vibrations, and then modern life comes in and tries to restrict that. Does that make sense? And then we get sort of stuck. So I think I'm getting esoteric right now, but Saturn, I think, is asking you to maybe consider some of those ideas and, be responsible for what you're harvesting in life. Be responsible for what you're devoting yourself to in life, and step into that and be willing to ask for what you want, so you can get that, so you can get it, because the universe will respond to that. It really will. And Saturn always responds and always rewards when you pay attention and do what you need to do. Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of lovely. And say thank you. It's my new thing with Saturn. Say thank you. Thank you, Saturn. Okay, thank you. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard for all. It's hard for me. I have a Virgo moon. It's hard to go, this is what I want. This is what I want. All the anxiety comes up, right? Virgo energy, it rules the intestines and the gut, and everything goes right there, and your belly goes into knots, but then you do it, and it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. It
wow.
ends up being okay. So do it. You got this. You've got this.
Aw.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Martin. So we have raised $270 today.
Wow. That's great.
We're sending you lots of love, Martin. I think
Yes.
you're going to find that when you show up for yourself, others show up for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of the message, right? All right. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. We will be back next week at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Oh, no, sorry. We will not be back next week. I will be out of town next week. Not next week, said the Love Witch. Yeah, not next week. I will not be here. We will be back on the 16th of January. Whoa, where am I? I'm in book writing land right now. Um, we will be back on the 16th of March, the actual month we are in, not going back or forward in time. And we will be back at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Today's the last day to enter our cutest animal familiar photo contest. We are celebrating the Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars by having a cutest animal familiar
That's cute.
contest. If you would like to be a part of this contest, all you have to do is voting ends tomorrow is the last day. So get your pictures of your familiar in there and then get your friends to vote really fast. Like get them to vote tomorrow. Get all
What do
your
they
friends
do?
to
They
vote.
win a book?
No, they win a reading with me, a 1 hour
Oh, how
reading with me,
exciting!
or $100 gift certificate to the Parlor of
Oh,
Wonders. And third place is a animal candle spell kit of their choice. Yeah,
nice.
we will make a spell kit for you around any
I
animal
love that.
candle that we have. And we got some really cute animals. We got frogs, we've got
Mm-hmm.
dogs, we've got cats, we've got bats. No, I'm just trying to make a rhyme. We don't really have a bat. Although we
Bat
should get a
candle
bat,
would be cute.
right? Wouldn't want a bat familiar. I know I would.
Me
Hello.
too.
Um, we've got all kinds of animals. We've got wolves. We've got, oh my gosh, we've got some cute animal candles coming,
Yeah.
folks. Wait, we've got cute ones now. Wait till you see the ones we've got coming that are also very cute. All right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for having fun with us as I read the fairy tale tarot that I know nothing about the fairy tales. I know what a tarot card means. I don't have to know what that person, what Lisa had to say about it. But now I know I have to read some more fairy tales. As soon as I'm done writing my fairy tale, we're going to read some more fairy tales. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody. Have a great couple of weeks. And thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you soon. All right.
Yay.
Bye.